Moment is nothing but the moment which tends to bend the beam. Okay, either in upward direction or in downward direction. We called it as a sagging or hugging. Okay, that moment is called as the bending moment, which tends to bend the beam. Okay, but what is the moment? First, you should be clear with this moment. What is the moment? Moment is nothing but force into perpendicular distance. Okay, all of you are aware with this. Okay, so moment is nothing but force into perpendicular distance. Simply now, uh, if I draw here one line, okay, and then if I choose one point on this line, suppose this is the point A, and some force is acting. Okay, some force is acting here like this. Okay, this is the force which is acting, and suppose the magnitude of this force is 10 kilonewton, and now the distance of this force, suppose it is 2 meter. Now when you see this force, okay, this arrow tip, this is called as head. This is called as head. This point, here it is, this point, this is called as tail. Okay, and you, if you extend this line, okay, if you extend this line like this at the top and at the bottom, so this is called as line of action of force. So this is nothing but, this is line of action of force. Okay, so now what is the concept of movement? So what happens, this force produce some rotational effect along the points which are situated on this line. Okay, whatever line we have drawn now is from in the red color. So what happens, when you see in a practice, when any force is acting at any point, it produces some rotational effects on the another points which are connected together. Okay, now if you see, this point and this point are the indirectly connected points through this line. Okay, so this force which is acting over here, this indirectly causes the rotational effect on point A. Okay, and that is nothing but we call this as a moment, and that we calculated it as a force into perpendicular distance. Okay, now suppose this type of force is there, then what is our normal method? What do we do normally? Okay, I will again here draw the same diagram so that we can resolve it. So what do we do normally? So here the force is there. This is the force which is of 10 kilonewton. Okay. Now suppose this angle is 30 degree. For our simplicity, we will take this angle as 30 degree. And now here is the point A. Point A. Now we want to calculate what is the moment of this force about point A. Okay. So we know the basic formula, it is force into perpendicular distance. So one way to calculate the moment is if I extend the line of action of this force. Okay. If I extend the line of action of this force, it will be like this. Okay, it will be like this at both the ends. And now here is the point A. So what the formula says, it is force into perpendicular distance. Now if I drop the perpendicular, okay, now if I drop the perpendicular from point A, so this is the perpendicular. Now if I drop the perpendicular from point A 90-degree angle, so this is nothing but the distance. So if I use the notation for distance, suppose now it is small d, and for force it is F. Okay, so this 10 kilonewton is nothing but your F, and this perpendicular distance is nothing but your d. So if you take the product of these two, F into d, that is force into this perpendicular distance, then you will get the moment at point A. This is the one way to calculate the moment. Okay. Now another way is what, we resolve the forces. Okay. What do? We resolve the forces. Normally, what we do, suppose now this is again the same line. Now again I'm considering here the point A, okay, and at this point here the force is acting. So I will again draw the force, okay, and now this angle is 30 degree and this is 10 kilonewton. So what is the second best way to do it? Instead of this, if this becomes some critical or this force is inclined, so it is not in x-axis and no, it is not along the x-axis and y-axis. So what do we generally do? We, if we come across these inclined forces, then we always resolve this force, okay, and we resolve this force into two mutually perpendicular components. So one is parallel to x and another is parallel to y. So the one component here, if you resolve, this is the one component, and now here it is second component. Okay, so I think all of you know the resolution, how to resolve the force. Okay, so this will become 10 cos 30 and this will become 10 sin 30. Now it will be very easier for us to calculate the moment. Okay, how do we calculate the moment? If you extend the line of action of this 10 cos 30, if okay, now if that force is passing through that point where we are calculating the moment, then its perpendicular distance becomes 0. Okay, now you will not get the perpendicular distance. Now if this is the force 10 cos 30 from point A, what is the perpendicular distance of 10 cos 30? You will not able to calculate the perpendicular distance, as it is the distance is 0 because the force is passing through that point. Okay, so the moment of this 10 cos 30 is 0. Then if you consider this 10 sin 30, okay, now your point is here somewhere and this distance, it is 2 meter. So the perpendicular distance, see, this is the straight line, this is also straight line, but this is vertical line, line of action of force. See, this is straight line and this is also straight line. So the angle between these two is 90 degrees. So this is nothing but the perpendicular distance. Okay, so if I write here the moment, then it will be 10 sin 30. This is the magnitude of the force F. F into D is our formula. So F is 10 sin 30 into D. D is what? 2 into 2. So then this is the rotational effect, that is the moment about point A. Okay, this is the moment about point A. Now again we need to specify that the moment is clockwise or anti-clockwise. Okay, so the sign conventions are generally in our hand. We can take clockwise positive, anti-clockwise negative, or vice versa also. We can consider clockwise negative, anti-clockwise positive. It depends upon you which is easier for you. So normally, normal sign conventions are, we always take the clockwise moment as positive moments and we take anti-clockwise moments as negative moments. Now how to see that it is positive or negative? So for that, a simple thing I will tell you. So here, this is the point. See the tip of the arrow. Okay, see the tip of the force for which you have calculated the moment. ह्या टिपला पकडायचं, see the tip and see the point, where the point is. It is at the left hand side or right hand side. It is at the left hand side. So move this arrow force towards this point. Okay, so this is the direction. So this is, you can see, if you rotate it about in this direction, then it is anti-clockwise. Okay, so this is the direction. If you rotate this force along this direction, then it is anti-clockwise. Okay, it is anti-clockwise. So this moment is minus whatever value. We are not interested in value, just I am telling you the basics. So this is minus, and vice versa. If instead of here at the left hand side point A might be on the right hand side, then this will become plus, as the rotation is in the clockwise direction in that case. Okay, so I hope now this thing is clear to you. And now one more short thing, if somebody is having a problem in the resolution of force, in short I will tell you how the force should be resolved. Okay, now we will take the next. Huh. So in short I will tell you how the force is resolved. Now suppose this is a body and on which, suppose now a force is acting in this way. Okay, so this is the force now. Again take simple values. This force is 10 kilonewton, and again suppose now this angle is 30 degree. Okay, so there are, you can see that this point where this force is acting here, this is called as point of contact. This is called as point of contact. Okay, here the force is acting. Now I want to resolve the force. Okay, I want to resolve the force. फोर्स रिझॉल्व करताना पहिल्यांदा तुम्ही काय करायचं, ऑलवेज फर्स्ट फाइंड आउट द पॉइंट ऑफ कॉन्टॅक्ट. First thing is find out the point of contact. Okay, so once you get the point of contact, then draw the line. Okay, draw one line parallel to x-axis and another line parallel to y-axis. Okay, मग बघा आता पॅरलल टू एक्स ऍक्सिस म्हणजे तुम्ही या डायरेक्शनला लाईन ड्रॉ करू शकताय, या पॉईंट पासून ना, पॉईंट ऑफ कॉन्टॅक्ट पासून. ओके, किंवा पॅरलल टू एक्स ऍक्सिस म्हणजे या डायरेक्शनला पण लाईन ड्रॉ करू शकताय. मग कसं ठरवायचं, इकडे ड्रॉ करायची की इकडे ड्रॉ करायची? So you have to draw both the lines parallel to x-axis and parallel to y-axis in such a way that your force should come in between those two lines, okay, or in between those two components. So now suppose here, if I draw the line in this way, okay, and from top in this way. Now you see that I have drawn one line. This is the parallel to x. This force is parallel to x. This is parallel to y. Okay, but while drawing these two, I have taken care that in between these two components, our main force should be there, which we want to resolve. Okay, so now in this case, see now this angle. So if this value is 10, so I will write here also 10, here also 10. Okay, now after that we will consider this angle. Now this angle is 30 degree. Okay, this angle is 30 degree. मग हा 30 डिग्री जिथे अँगल झालेला आहे त्याच्या जवळचा कॉम्पोनंट कोण आहे तो बघा. एक्स चा कॉम्पोनंट जवळ आहे का वाय चा कॉम्पोनंट जवळ? अँगल कुणाच्या जवळ झालेला आहे? इट इज सबटेंडेड नियर द एक्स कॉम्पोनंट. ओके, सो ज्याच्या जवळ झालेला असेल त्याला कॉस देऊन टाकायचं आणि उरलेल्याला काय करायचं? साइन. Okay, so angle is subtended over here. So angle is near to the x component. Okay, the component which is parallel to x-axis. So this will become your cos, and this will, the remaining is obviously sine. Okay, so in this way you have to resolve the force. One more example we will take so that it will clear. Again now I am drawing the force. Suppose now this time the force is like this. Okay, this is the force, and again same magnitude, 10 kilonewton. Okay, now this angle is given to you. This angle is 30 degree. Okay, one more care you should always take while resolving the forces. This angle, okay, for which you are resolving the force, that angle should be acute angle. That angle must be less than 90 degree. Okay, that care you should take always while resolving the forces. Now the same thing is there. Again I will do the same thing. What I will do, I will draw one line parallel to x and one line parallel to y, but I will take care that while drawing those two lines or those two components of the forces, our main force should come in between those two. So here this is the component which is parallel to x, and this is the component which is parallel to y. And see that in between these two red components, okay, in between these two components x and y, your main force is there. Okay, and now see this angle is 30 degree. Here the angle is 30 degree. So if this is 10, I will write this as also 10, this as also 10. Now think about this angle. Now if you see this angle is nearer to the x component. It is subtended with x component. Okay, so x component of the force. So for x you should give cos, and for remaining it is sin 30 degree. Okay, so now again, last example. Again this is the line. Okay. And now the force is like this. Okay, and the angle given to you is with vertical. Now suppose this is the vertical line, and now this angle is given to you as 30 degree, and this is as usual 10 kilonewton. Okay, now we want to resolve this force. What we will do now, what we will do, we will draw one line. We will see the point of contact first. Okay, so this point is nothing but our point of contact. Then we will draw one line parallel to x, another line parallel to y. But while drawing those two lines, we will take care that our main force to which we are for which we are doing the resolution, it should come between those two components. So this is the component which is parallel to x. Okay, this is the component which is parallel to x, and again this is the component which is parallel to y. So if I see here, this is 10 kilonewton, so I will write here 10. This is also 10. Now again you see the angle. First you verify that this angle is obtuse angle, acute angle, or what. Okay, if obtuse angle is there, you should consider another side. Okay, now as this angle is 30 degree, it is already an acute angle, less than 90 degree. So now this angle is subtended over here. Okay, so nearer component is y component. So the angle is subtended with the y component or y force. So here the angle is subtended, so this will become cos. ज्याच्या सोबत अँगल झालेला असेल त्याला cos देऊन टाकायचा, राहिलेल्याला काय करायचं, sin. Okay, so these are the some basics of the resolution of the force. So likewise here also we have calculated, we have done the same resolution. Okay, this is your 10 sin 30, 10 cos 30. This will pass through this point A. So it's this is passing through point A, so its moment is 0, and this is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. Whatever may be the value of this, we are just right now not interested in the value. So this is nothing but bending moment. Now basically bending moment is of two types. Okay, first is the sagging bending moment, and second is the hogging bending moment. Sagging bending moment means what? Tension is at bottom fiber and compression is at the topmost fiber. So I will draw the diagram so you will understand. So now suppose this is a beam. Okay, suppose this is a beam. Now what will happen if you apply the load? Suppose now the loading is acting on the beam. Okay, beam is loaded. Loading is there and downward loading is there. Okay, continuous downward loading is there. It may be point load, it may be UDL, whatever load it may be. We are not interested in the load right now. Just try to understand the concept. Okay, now this is a beam. So generally, if you see, if I will draw the neutral axis of the beam. Okay. So this axis is nothing but the neutral axis. This is neutral axis. Neutral axis means what? Every fiber or every element or every molecule which is situated along this axis, it doesn't experience compressive force. Uh, it neither goes under compression nor tension. Okay, so tensile force and compression force will not exert there. This is the neutral axis. We will see this neutral axis. Okay, generally the fibers above the neutral axis are subjected to compression. and the fibers or elements below the neutral axis are subjected to tension. Now if the loading is like this, okay, if the loading is like this, then beam will bend. Okay, and what is the bending profile of the beam? So now I will try to draw the diagram. So this is the bending profile of the beam. In this way the beam will bend. Okay. Already you have studied this assumptions and all these things. Okay. In bending stresses you have already studied this. Now again if I draw the neutral axis now. So this is the neutral axis. This is the line of neutral axis. Again in this condition also we assume that on the neutral axis there is no compressive force and no tensile force. Okay, just one moment. लच्छन मॅडम लेक्चर चालू आहे हो जरा हळू. Okay, so this is the neutral axis. Now this type of bending, now if you observe this bending, if you consider these 2 points, okay, this is your point A and this is your point B before bending. After bending, now suppose this is your new point A dash, okay, that is same point but it is displaced, and the same point it is displaced B dash. Okay, so now you see, if you observe this carefully, see this is the distance, original distance between them. This is the distance before bending. Okay, this is the distance before bending. And what is the distance between them after bending? After bending, this is the distance. Now if you see both the distances, this distance is less. Okay, if you see, this distance is comparatively more between A and B when it was plane, and after bending if you see the profile, this distance is obviously less than this previous distance, original distance. So distance less झालं म्हणजे काय झालं? So A dash and B dash are displaced towards each other. म्हणजे हे दोन पॉइंट काय झाले? एकमेकांच्या डायरेक्शनला डिस्प्लेस झालेले. So the distance get reduced. Okay. So the distance is reduced means what? When the reduction is there, then which type of stresses are there? Compressive stresses are there. Okay. So here you can see at above the neutral axis, compressive stresses are developed. Okay. And similarly, now if you see again these bottom points, okay, these bottom points, suppose this is point C and this is point D. This is before bending. After bending, now here it is point C and point D. And now you see the difference. Okay. Now you see the distance again. This will get increased. This distance will get increased. So increase means what? When the distance is increased, elongation is there, and when elongation is there, there must be tensile forces. Okay, due to the tensile force only elongation gets developed. So here the tensile stresses are there. Here you will get the compressive stress, here you will get the compressive stress, and here the stress is tensile stress. कळतं का? तरी तुम्हाला हे एक सांगतो बघा, इलॉंगेशन मध्ये टेन्शनच कसं काय येतं सारखं, तर ते सांगतो तुम्हाला कसं. हा कॉन्सेप्ट तुम्हाला माहिती ना. सपोज अ रॉड इज हिअर, अ रॉड इज देअर. Okay, and suppose this is your rigid surface, fixed surface, and now if the force is applied, suppose a force is applied in this direction, a force is applied, the magnitude of the force is P. Okay, and the length of the bar is L. Okay. So it is quite natural that this bar is elongation will take place. Okay, elongation होईल का नाही या बारचं ड्यू टू दिस फोर्स P. The elongation, whatever may be, it is in mm, centimeter, we don't interested in the value, but the concept is when you apply tensile force, due to the tensile force there will be elongation over here. Okay, and that elongated part I will draw like this. This is the elongation. This is the elongation, and suppose this is your delta L. That is your elongation. I will show this part over here. This is the elongation delta L. Okay. So now from this what I want to say that whenever elongation is there, elongation, Elongation is always due to the tensile force. Okay, elongation is always due to the tensile force. And if the force is tensile, then stress is also tensile. Tensile forces always develop tensile stresses. Okay, tensile forces always develop tensile stresses. So here if you see elongation is there, here the elongation is there, so therefore the fibers below the neutral axis are subjected to the tensile stresses, and fiber above the neutral axis are subjected to compressive stresses. Okay, so this is called as, what we can say, this is sagging bending. Okay, this is called as sagging. So deflection, this we called it as a sagging bending moment when the load is acting like this. This is one scenario. Now reversal of this. What will happen if the hogging is there? The reverse strategy will be there. If the hogging is there, then tensile stresses will be at the top and compressive stresses will be at the bottom. Okay. So if I show you that diagram also, now here only I will draw the diagram. I will draw the small diagram. So if you understood the first concept, then second is also very easy. So this is your second diagram. Okay. Now neutral axis I will show over here. This is the neutral axis. This is your neutral axis. Now actually what is happening over here? If you see these the points along this line, previously when it is straight, the definite distance is there. Okay. But when you see now right now here, these points will come closer. जवळ आले म्हणजे तिथं काय असणार आहे, कॉम्प्रेशन असणार आहे तिथं. ओके, अँड नाउ इफ यू सी these topmost points, the distance will get increased over here. So if the distance is increased, then elongation is there, and if the elongation is there, then tensile force must be present over there, and if the force is tensile, the stress is also tensile. Okay, so the tensile stress will develop at top and compressive stresses are developed at the bottom. Okay, is it clear now? When the tensile stresses are developed and when, so this type of bending we call this as a hogging bending also. Okay, so this is the basic difference between what is sagging and what is hogging. You generally use this term only for positive bending moment and negative bending moment, but the concept behind that is when a structure sags, then the tensile stresses are developed at the bottom and the compressive stresses are developed at the top. And when any structure hogs, not necessarily it is beam, if any structure hogs or hogging bending moment is there, then you should you will see that the tensile stresses are at the top instead of compressive, and compressive stresses are at the bottom. Okay, so remember this is the very important concept. Hmm? For gate and these competitive examinations, numericals will be there based on these concepts. Okay, so now this is the brief introduction what is actually the bending moment is. Now, based on this, the sign conventions for the bending moment are developed. Now, how the sign conventions of bending moment are developed? Now, this is the sagging. Okay. Now, this is the sagging. So, your force must be, your moment will be in this direction. Okay. This way. And for this side, the moment must be in this direction. Okay. Due to this loading, if these types of moments are developed, then only the sagging will happen. Okay, and due to the given loading type, if the hogging is there, then the direction of movement is like this. So I'm now running out of the space over here, but I will show the direction arrows correctly. Okay, so these are the directions of the moments, and these are the sign conventions actually which you are using for positive movement and negative movement. If I draw one line between these two, okay, see here, this becomes sign convention, and you use this sign convention for sagging bend positive and negative moment. Okay, If you see this sign convention, if I draw over here, so if I consider this line, so again for this beam I will draw over here. This is the section line. Okay. And on the left hand side, if you see, the direction of the moment is like this. Okay, so if the direction of the moment is like this, on this side this is the direction of the moment, this is the direction of the moment. If it is in this way, then we always consider it positive while drawing the bending moment diagram. Okay, and now if you see again for this hogging moment, so if I draw the section over here, now again you will see on the left hand side the moment is in this direction. Okay, so I will draw the direction of the moment, it is like this. And on the next side it is, I will copy the same direction, it is this way. So while drawing the bending moment diagram, we take it as negative. Now you understood why the sign conventions of bending moments are like this only. समजलं का? आपण जे बेंडिंग मुवमेंट कॅल्क्युलेट करताना साइन कन्व्हेन्शन जे तुम्ही घेताय नेहमी, ते असेच का घ्यायचे, तर त्याच्या पाठीमागे हे रिझन आहे. ओके, so in this way, that is the, if you understood this logic, now there is no need to buy at the sign conventions for bending moment. You will automatically remember these sign conventions if you know the reason and logic behind it. So this is why we always take the sign conventions for the bending moment in this fashion. This is our positive moment and this is our negative. Okay, because these are the dimensions. So now the next thing is, now we will come to the one sample problem to calculate the bending moment. Okay, so for the start we will begin with the simple problem. We will begin with the point load at the start, and then we will continue. And in between, now if the lecture is getting disconnected, you please reconnect, because the time remaining is now, it is less than 1 minute or so. Okay, so now here I will draw a beam. Suppose this is a beam. Again we will take simple supports only for our simplicity. You can take any type of support, but we will solve here determinate beam. Okay, and now the load is acting. We will take the, here is one load, here another load. Okay, and suppose now this is of 5 kilonewton, this is of 10 kilonewton. Okay, then this is point A, point B, point C, and point D. Now suppose this distance is 1 meter, this is 2 meter, and this is again 2 meter. We have extended these lines for drawing the bending moment diagram. Okay, and here we will draw the baseline. This is our baseline. Okay, every value here is 0. Every value here is 0 on this baseline. Okay, on this baseline the bending moment value is 0 on this baseline. Okay, now suppose now this force is of 5 kilonewton, this is of 10 kilonewton. Now as usual, first we need to find out the reactions. Okay, so for calculating the reactions, we will calculate the reaction at A, that is RA, and reaction at B, that is RB. So to calculate the reactions, we will use the equations of equilibrium. Okay, so in the last lecture I have explained you what is the equilibrium. Okay, and why the equations of equilibrium are like summation fx0, fy0, and moment 0. So I have explained you the logic behind that. Now we will take the moment of all the forces summation m about b, moment of all the forces about b equal to 0. And whenever you are calculating the reactions, always use this sign convention. Clockwise is plus and anti-clockwise is minus. Remember this. Whenever you are using the equations of equilibrium for the moment, then always take clockwise plus, anti-clockwise minus. These sign conventions we need to use. So now moving further, so if we take the moment of all the forces about B equal to 0, so moment is nothing but force into perpendicular distance. So we should measure the perpendicular distance from point B. Why from point B? Because we are taking the moment at point B. So now first is this reaction RA. What is the distance of RA from point B? First is this reaction RA. Now what is the distance of this RA from point B? It is 2 plus 2 plus 1. That is 5 meter is the distance. Okay. So now we will write here it is RA into 5. Now we need to decide that it is positive or negative. Now see, if you see the tip of RA, it is moving upward. It is moving upward. Okay. Now point B is here. If you rotate this RA towards the point B, then the direction of rotation is like this. This is the direction of rotation. In this way, it will rotate. Okay. This is the direction. So this direction is same to this direction. ही जी डायरेक्शन आहे क्लॉकवाईज याच डायरेक्शन मध्ये आरे रोटेट व्हायला लागलेलं आहे क्लॉकवाईज सो दिस इज प्लस नेक्स्ट इज दिस 5 kilonewton so now force is 5 kilonewton multiplied by what is the distance of this 5 from point B. So now from point B, if you consider the distance from point B, if you see the distance, it is 2 plus 2, that is 4 meter. So the distance is 4 meter. Now it is positive or negative. Now see, this is the tip, okay, and now point B is here. It is situated over here. Point B is situated over there. So if you rotate this about this point, then this is the direction. Okay, so this is anti-clockwise, which is similar to this one. Okay, so this direction about this point is similar to this one. So it is minus. Okay, so this one is minus. Again, same thing is there. So again, minus 10 into what is the distance? It is 2. So last term I have written directly. Hope you understood from first two. Okay. And now RB. For RB, RB is passing through point B. So its moment is 0. So this all equals to 0. Now if you solve, you will get the value of RA. And RA is equal to how much? 10 into 220, 5 to 420 minus 20 minus 40. So 8 kilonewton. Okay, somebody has given me the answer 8 kilonewton. It is correct. And we are getting positive answer, so our RA is moving upward. For upward we take always positive, for downward it is negative. Okay, so now from this we are going to calculate the RB. Okay, so to calculate the RB, what we will do, we will apply summation Fy equal to 0. So we will apply summation Fy equal to 0. So sum of all the forces parallel to y-axis is 0. So upward forces we are going to take it as plus. For downward forces it is minus. So now again start from this point. RA is moving upward, so plus. So I will write here plus RA. Then this 5 is moving down, then minus 5. Don't multiply here by the distances because we are considering only the forces here. So F stands for force and M stands for moment. Here F stands for force, so only consider the force over here, and M stands for moment. So here you should multiply the force by the distance. Okay. So now minus 5 minus 10, those are moving downward, plus RB is equal to 0. Now if you solve this, you will get the value of RB, and RB is equal to, what was the value? RB is equal to 7 kilonewton. RB is equal to 7 kilonewton, and it is positive, so it is moving up. Okay, now we will not calculate the shear force. I think you know how to calculate the shear force. In last lecture also we have calculated. Now we will directly move to the bending moment. Okay, now we will directly move to the bending moment calculation. So now here at this point A, what is the bending moment at the point A? So I will write here bending moment at point A is equal to, So where we need to calculate the bending moment now, at that point we always take the section. Okay, now if I take the section just ahead this point, then the distance between the section and the point is nearly equal to 0. Okay, so the bending moment at this point is 0. Another reason is simple support is not able to carry the moment. Okay, simple support is very weak in carrying the moment. If support is fixed, instead of simple support, if it is here, the fixed support is there. Okay, so I am telling over here, instead of this simple support, if the fixed support is there, then we can say that the some moment will be present at point A. But if simple support won't carry the moments, so the bending moments at simple support is always 0. So at A your bending moment will be 0. Similarly at B also your bending moment is 0. Okay. So as the simple support cannot is not able to resist the moment. Hmm? So bending moment at A it is 0. Now go to point C. Now I will tell you the simple sign conventions for the force when you are calculating the bending moment, when you are calculating for calculate bending moment calculation only, and if the force is there, force means what, either it is the reaction, force means what, either it is the reaction or it is a point load or it is a UDL or it is a UUL, whatever it may be. Okay, so either it is UDL or trapezoidal load, triangular load, whatever it may be. If the force is there, you should simply see this thing. If the force is moving upward, okay, if the force is moving upward, then your bending moment is positive. Okay, and if the force is moving downward, then your bending moment is negative. Are you getting my point? बेंडिंग मुवमेंटचे जे तुमचे अवघड साइन कन्व्हेन्शन्स आहेत ना, सॅगिंग वॉगिंग हे ते फोर्स साठी वापरू नका. फक्त अप्लाइड मुवमेंट जर बीम वरती डायरेक्टली दिली असेल, एक्सटर्नल मुवमेंट, in that case only we are going to use those sign conventions. Now here the simple thing is that here the forces are there, all the forces. So for all the forces, if the force is moving upward, you consider it as positive. If the force is moving downward, then you consider it as a negative. Now here at this point C, so bending moment at point C. So at point C now I will consider one section. Okay, at point C here I will consider a section line. Either I can consider left hand side equilibrium or I can consider right hand side equilibrium. Okay, so if you consider right hand side equilibrium, then also no problem, only two forces are there. If you consider left hand side equilibrium, then there is only one force, that is reaction RA. Okay, so now we will consider the left hand side equilibrium. Then to calculate the bending moment, again moment is nothing but force into perpendicular distance, the simple formula. So what is the force? So here you are taking the moment at point C. Okay, bending moment for C. So you should take the distance from point C. So what is the distance of RA from point C? It is 1 meter. Distance is 1 meter. And what is the value of RA? The value of RA is 8 kilonewton. So it will be 8 into 1. This is my bending moment. Okay. As I am taking the bending moment about point C, so I should measure the distance of this force from point C only. Now see, this force is moving upward. Or कुणाची bending moment घेतली तुम्ही RA ची about point C. Now this RA is moving upward or downward? RA is moving upward. So this is plus. This is plus. And is there any other force on the left hand side? No, there is no force. So your bending moment will be simply it is 8 kilonewton meter. Okay, simply it is 8 kilonewton meter. Now again we will move for the next point, bending moment at point D. Okay, so your point D is situated over here. This is your point D. So either you can consider the right hand side equilibrium or you can consider the left hand side equilibrium. If you consider the right hand side equilibrium, it is very easy, RB into 2. So 7 into 2, 14 should be your answer. But we will go by left hand side equilibrium, so that we will consider these two forces. So if I consider now left hand side equilibrium, equilibrium of this side, left hand side from point D, then what I will get now? See, point D is here. First is RA. So what is the distance of this RA from point D? As I am now taking the bending moment at point D, so I should consider the distance from point D. So what is the distance? Okay. So now what is the distance for that? So it is 2 plus 1 3. So the distance of RA from point D is 3. So it will be value of RA is 8. So 8 into 3. Now see, RA is moving upward or downward? RA is moving upward. We got the positive direction here. Okay. So for upward value, we will take plus. If the force or reaction is moving upward, then it is plus. Next is this force, 5 kilonewton. Now this 5 kilonewton is moving down. So if it is moving down, straight away you write minus. Okay, straight away you should write minus. And then the magnitude of this force is 5 into what is the distance? The distance from D, because we are taking the bending moment at point D. So the distance from point D is 2 meter. Distance of this C from point D is 2 meter. So multiply this by 2. If you solve, you will get the answer. What is the answer? 8 into 3 24, 5 into 2 10, 24 minus 10 it is 14 kilonewton meter, plus 14 kilonewton meter is the answer. And same thing is there if you consider the right hand side equilibrium. Same thing is there if you consider the right hand side equilibrium. We will orally do the calculation. Now what is the value of RB? The value of RB is 7. What is the distance of RB from point D? The distance of RB is 2 meter. So what is our moment? It is 7 into 2. So it is 14. Again the answer is same, 14. Again you should see the it is plus or minus. So see RB. RB is now moving upward or downward. So RB is moving upward. Okay, so your answer must be positive, plus. Okay. And similarly now at this point B, bending moment at this point B. So what is the bending moment at this point B? If you take the section near over here, just at the point B, here somewhere, if you take the section, and if you take the moment of this RB, if you take the moment of this RB about this section, then the distance is nearly equal to 0. So the moment will be 0. So bending moment at point B is 0. Again, at point B, the second logic is simple support is provided. Simple supports are not able to carry the moments. So therefore, the bending moment at the point B must be 0. Okay, so here the bending moment is 0. Again, if you consider, suppose if you take the section over here and you calculate the moment of all the forces along the left hand side, then also you will get the same answer. Okay, if we calculate orally now, see, if we calculate orally, if we now RA, value of RA is 8. What is the distance from point B? 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5. So 8 into 5 it is 40. RA is moving upward, so it is plus 40. Then this 5 into 4, that is 5 is moving downwards, so minus 20. And this is 10 into 2 minus 20. So ultimately you are getting 0 moment. Okay. Those who have not understood, I will write in short over here. Here you can see that bending moment at B is 0. By doing calculation also you will get this thing, bending moment at B. So if you consider the left hand side, if you consider the left hand side from point B, then you need to consider all these three forces. So if I consider now first RA, the distance of RA from point B, it is 5. So it is 8 into 5. RA is moving upward, so this is plus. Then this 5 kilonewton force is there. Okay, this 5 kilonewton force is there, it is moving downward. So this is minus. So it is minus 5 into, what is the distance? So from point B, this 5 kilonewton force is at a distance of 4 meter. So it is 5 into 4. Again minus, it is 10 into 2. So now if you simplify this, then it is 40. This is 20. This is 20. You will get 0 kilonewton meter. You will get the same answer. And finally, when you plot all these points, here the values are 0, 0, then at C it is 8, at D it is 14, so at C somewhere here it is 8. Okay, now in portion A to C, okay, in the portion A to C, there is no load, the space is empty, so we will join this by we will join this. Okay, again the next point is here 12 14, sorry, so 14 over here, the next more value is 14, and we will again join that point also. This is the 14, and now from this point it is going to be 0. So this is your bending moment diagram, which is positive. This is very simple numerical, just to revise, just to for the revision. I have taken this simple problem. Okay, shear force and bending moment. Now based on this, you can do the calculations. Okay. So your homework is that you take UDL in between over here. Okay, you take some UDL over here. At this point, consider the UDL. Okay, and the intensity of the UDL is 10 kilonewton per meter. And let me know what is the change in the bending moment. This is for your homework. Okay, this is for your homework. So today do this thing, and you will observe what is, and do the same thing. Huh? If this UDL is moving downward, then it should be minus. Now this is UDL, it is moving down, so you should take minus. This sign convention you should use for the forces. And now calculate the bending moment diagram. Okay, so for today it is enough now.